밤인가. 본 열차가 들어오겠군. 이제야 재미가 생기겠어.
Greetings and salutations, everyone. I'm Ekamac. This is Limbus Company. We're going into the Mirror Dungeons once more, for the final time. We've gone through just about every other type of team that we have. We've gone through Burn, Bleed, Tremor, Rupture, Sinking, Poise. And now we have the Charge team. You might notice something about this. I do have my full set, but they're all level 40. That's because we're going into Mirror Dungeon hard. So, the thing about Mirror Dungeon hard is that if you have any bonuses active, the weekly hard bonus or any of the weekly normal dungeon bonuses, it'll use them up. But it's basically more efficient to do it that way, better for your time. So yeah, that's what I usually start the week off with my charge team running through. But tomorrow is when they release the new seasonal content, and that apparently also wants to have hard bonuses to it, so who knows. Let's pick for our starting gifts the employee card, because that gives charge every turn because everyone is a charge idea here. And I would say the curriculum vitae, because we do have a little bit of gloom affinity in our team, so we are going to get the power up at 7 charge count. As you can see, we've got a lot of W core and a few R core people in this team. There's one very important cornerstone. Well, no, I guess everyone is going to be dealing damage. So here's the first problem with hard. Fog of War. We have no idea what's going to be ahead of us. We just get little hints of, okay, that's where the routes are. Aside from that, nope. We have to make random guesses. So always try to move places that give you the most options for where to move.
빨리 시작하시죠.
The next problem is that enemies are going to start at much higher level, although the fact that they're all level 40 does mean that we're going to be able to pick up... we're going to be able to gain SP a lot faster. That's a counter skill, but it's resisted. It's just 5 damage, we're fine. I don't know whether you can win this clash, but I at least need to make sure that I don't activate Gloom Resonance. Which thankfully I cannot.
이상 승객을 정리합니다. 날 뛰어보라고.
Ooh, you won't be able to win that clash. But maybe this one. So charge as a status effect is basically being copied over from what it was in Library of Ruiner. You gain charge through your skills, and then other skills spend the charge. Even though it does have even though we have charge potency, it's actually not doing anything. The only number that goes up and down is charge count. Annoyingly, it goes down by 1 at the turn end, which was not a thing in Library of Ruiner.
내 앞을 막을 자는 없어.
자, 이번은 이쪽으로 모으고
Yeah.
벌써 끝나고. 맘.
The downside is that this kind of makes it a bit worse off than other... So the thing is, with other statuses, Mirror Dungeon gifts give them a lot better generation and they get advantages for being at higher stats than usual. You don't really get anything out of having higher charge, so you have to look for ego gifts that raise your power if you have enough charge. Okay, it's the Ambling Pearl again. The giant clam walks towards you. With each step it takes, it sprays a fetid green muck. Is the clam the source of the contamination, or is it working to contain the filth? Sample the green substance. Never approach it. That just gets you hurt. Hongwu. You contain some of the slime in a glass jar. This isn't simply a mass of filth. Numerous hatchlings swim inside. These tiny creatures are feeding on each other. Could they be the clam's offspring? Sticky muck earned.
간단하죠.
We should probably... I would like to get another ego gift, but I worry... Will I have enough SP for whatever the boss throws at me? This thing is confusing. Whir clink. Whir clink. Sounds of sticky, oily clockwork echoes. It is the sound of each cog indents clicking into each other. It is the sound of flowing streams of water conjoining. A tired, downcast duck stands before you. The clockwork whirs vigorously, but the rabbit appears weary. No, perhaps this is the duck. The rabbit asks, "What am I in your eyes?" It doesn't seem to have made up its mind on whether it's a rabbit or a duck, has it? Anyway, where's the thingamy? Okay, if we say that it's a duck and succeed in the check, we gain 50 cost. Otherwise, we lose 15 SP. If we call it a rabbit, it gives us the ego gift. But if we fail, we lose 15 HP and SP. The gift is the melted spring, which gives us offense level down for sinking. Honestly, let's just take the ego gift, so rabbit. Sloth envy advantage. Okay, here's the problem of jumping straight into this, isn't it? %132% coin flip is better odds than getting 495 in a row, I think. This is a rabbit. Its long ears doubtless indicate it's a rabbit. Melted spring earned.
했어요.
This can actually take effect because our core Ishmael over here, she does have sinking on a lot of her attacks. It's just that everyone else is going to keep removing them. Dense quietness. This is an upgrade shop. Yeah, but you weren't expecting that. The upside to Mirror Dungeon Hard is that it guarantees that you pass by vendors or vendors or rest stops on each floor. Incidentally, envy is the element of charge teams when you're doing gift fusions. Okay, we have our boss encounter. It's going to be pierce damage, which isn't that bad considering that we do have some pierce. Not a lot, but it is there.
싱싱한 풀이 보이네.
Oh, hello, it is the Rose Spanner Workshop. That's actually kind of a problem because the majority of all but one of my team are weak to blunt damage. Okay, yeah, let's do it. Blind Obsession on this turn. After all, we are actually kind of low on SP. There's a lot of people that could appreciate having it.
전투에 임하겠습니다. 종원, 조명이 전멸하는 저곳으로 파도가 모든 것을 쳐부술 거다.
Reminder that this is a charge ego. For each person she hits, she gains charge. So now she's basically kept her power and can use her skill 3 as much as she wants. So I should point out that Forced does have a charge ego on HE. It's Telepole. I don't use it because she doesn't need extra charge or decrease in charge or anything. We use this team for hard mode. We definitely need Fluid Sac a lot more. The person who does have Telepole is Don Quixote. On hit, gain 10 charge count, and keep in mind that this is a 3-weight attack, so basically if she hits even more than one person, she's kept her charge for the turn. But after attack, gain charge count to all allies by Envy Resonance. That's kind of cool since this team does have quite a few Envy nukes. But if you choose to use the Corrosion version, unlike usual Corroded Ego, she still has perfect targeting control. On hit, gain 10 charge and 10 rupture. After attack, gain 5 fragile, 10 rupture, and 12 charge count to all allies. So she can give out a lot of charge provided you ensure you never take the hits for that rupture to start hurting. And the passive is just Envy Absolute Resonance gives allies with charge some charge count.
이상 승객을 정리합니다.
The one person who I'm never really sure about how to equip Ego is actually Ryoshu, because aside from her Zayn,
자, 진정하세요.
her HE and Teth both have decent Ego you could make arguments for having.
끝나간
Yeah, even the one that is flat out, this gives her charge on hit. I would actually consider using her alternate Ego over that. Yeah, sorry about this, Nico, but you're going down.
자는 없어. 헛! 다음은 어디요? 지금이 기회인 것 같소.
자, 이번은 이쪽으로 모으고
Alright, so have a look at these mounting trials. Enemy defense level plus 4, enemy max HP plus 10%, enemy defense skill base power plus 2. The mounting trials in hard mode are a lot nastier than what we've seen in normal mode. That said, we could get the wrist guards. Allies with 5 charge count gain damage up. If they have Pride Affinity attack skills, gain 2 damage up instead. Ooh. This is going to make it harder to kill them. I really should go for this one with a defense power up. But it's just too tempting to increase our damage. And first thing we do is visit a vendor. Oh, standard duty battery immediately. And I want to upgrade Ryoshu's skill 1 to skill 2. Try not to upgrade to skill 3 on a charge team though. We'll get into why just right here. I really want to get the ego filling because this is a really difficult run. Under most conditions I would go for Carmilla. I'm going to need it when we get to the end of this dungeon. I just can't pass up on ego resource gifts. Okay, so we have 2 blunt options. This one at least gives us more coverage.
정리 작업 시작합니다.
So here's how the charge IDs work. Skill 1, gain charge count. Skill 2, gain charge count. Skill 3, spend 8 charge. If at less than 8 charge at combat start, target a random unit for an unopposed attack. Skill 1, gain charge. Skill 2, gain charge. Skill 3, spend 10 charge count to gain 4 coin power. At less than 10 charge count, lose 20% HP. 4 coin power on a 5 coin skill is very strong. We have a similar situation here. Gain charge, consume charge. At 7 to 14 charge count, consume all charge, but also consume a certain amount of HP to gain 5 coin power, or just consume 15 charge to gain 5 coin power. These guys are a little less badly off. The skill 3 is just at charge count give out charge barriers. And for Forced here, she spends charge count to inflict debuffs. Funnily enough, Heathcliff over here doesn't actually use any of that charge. He just gains it on his skill 1. It kicks in for his passive where at 5 charge count and 3 wrath resonance, he gains 1 haste and 1 attack power up. But he's just here for being really good damage. So yeah, we're good. No. Downside here is that if she flips tails on any of these, then she's going to be on a bit of a backswing. But we can just flip to a defensive coin and she's got a lot better odds here. Forced, on the other hand, isn't so lucky. And that's really going to sting. Representation emitter is costing the least resources.
자, 진정하세요.
모든 결과들은 파우스트가 알아요. 소란이 줄었네요.
Hang on. I'm now slightly worried that I might not be recording properly. No, I am. Oh, you spooked me there, Honglu. In terms of pivots, this group can actually swap over to a Rupture team in a way. Not for the Rupture gift, but you can rack up... A lot of these characters do have enough rupture on their attacks that if you have Standard Duty Battery, the Talisman Bundle, and the Thunder Branch all at once, it might be worth swapping someone back so you can bring in Gregor? Sometimes. Who wants to pick a fight with a risky encounter? Not me. Oh, hello, you are. You're offering me garbage. A thing wearing human skin was dancing in place, clicking and creaking. It soon spots me, clopping like a spider. It talks to me. I made this face yesterday. What face do you think I'll make tomorrow? What face should we make? If you smile or cry until you sink, then you get penalized. Don't make any expression. Don't make any? How do I do that? How? How? A hazy racket of confused sounds and rapid spins stirred the air. Then only the leather mask remained where it stood. Today's expression earned. After defeating an enemy using sloth or blunt damage skill, raise the unit's blunt power by 2 until the end of the next turn. Kind of garbage. We can at least pick a fight with some abnormalities, right?
정리 작업 시작합니다.
So then, what I was saying about Ryoshu's abilities, Ryoshu's potential ego, I mean. I just want to line all this up, but... So, Forest of Flames is obviously the right choice here. It gives burn, fragile, and on heads hit inflicts fragile next turn. The alternative is only good for sinking teams, or if you desperately need to generate Gloom Ego, if you need to generate Gloom resources, because though it's a Gloom Ego, it uses no Gloom resources. Blind Obsession gives out charge on hit, and poise. And its passive is that Pride skills don't consume critical hits. It's good for a charge team, but the alternative gives plus coin drop. And that's actually really good. So, it's really hard to decide. I decided to go with Blind Obsession only because Lust is so hard to hang on to in this group. But still, Red Eyes is pretty good for Ryoshu, and it does actually fit into this team pretty well because Forced is inflicting bind, and the Red Eyes ego really likes to have bind on its targets. Having someone who, other than the Red Eyes ego itself, able to stick down a bind, it really meshes together well. Oh yeah, they're all level 43 now. We haven't done jack all to them. Now her final ego. Red Eyes Open. If the target's speed is lower than the user's by 3 or more, coin power plus 4. It's a 3 attack weight skill regardless. If the target has bind, deal extra damage. If this staggers or defeats a target, heal the user and the ally with the least HP by 10%. Again, 3 attack weight on hit. So she can heal up to 3 people. She can heal up to 3 times with this attack. Also, if she heals more than 10% of max HP this turn, gain 1 attack power up next turn. And it's an envy skill, so it fits in extremely nicely with everything she has. Or rather, it fits in nicely with other envy resonance effects of this group. Now that said, the reason why you'd want to pick the other one is because it is 4th match flame. It has one of the highest rolling attacks in the game. Or at least the Ryoshu version is.
전투에 임하겠습니다.
And sometimes you might actually need to be able to roll that high, especially in Mirror Dungeon Hard, so it's just really hard to decide how you want to use it. She just has the problem is she has too many good ego, and not enough slots for them. So just a little heads up on Heathcliff's attacks here. This is just a basic attack. This gains 1 coin power at 6 speed. This gains 2 coin power at 6 speed. He can do quite a lot.
이상 승객을 정리합니다.
The reason why these enemies feel a lot bulkier than usual is because of what I picked on that first floor for mounting trials, isn't it?
소란이 줄었네요.
씹는 맛이 있는데?
Yep, I just pointed all the charged nukes at all the enemies and then had everyone else dogpile onto the one remaining Grimy Iron Stake. We don't have too many single coin skills in this group, but we do have plenty of ego that we'll be spamming later on.
빨리 시작하시죠.
So, who do we have this time? Ah, it's Pink Shoes and the robots. Clippity clop, tap away! But they're level 46, so their numbers are a little bit higher than we're used to. Granted, you're still pretty much a pushover because you're rolling a 2+1 skill.
신속히 처리하죠. 벌써 끝나가는.
Oh, he did not like that. He went desirous. Mind you, he's not quite ready to deal with an HE ego, is he?
전투에 임하겠습니다. 항상 지켜보고 있었지.
And there's that stagger.
지금이 기회인 것 같소.
자, 이번은 이쪽으로 모으고
Honestly, kind of a pushover for the second floor boss, but it'll get worse. So then, enemy offense level +3, max HP +5%. Enemy final power +1. Max HP +5%. Enemies deal 15% more damage. Max HP 5%. I don't know what the difference is between base power and final power, but I know that this is going to give a +1 clash strength to anything anyway. I think this is the safest pick because while it means they deal more damage, I don't think it helps their clash strength. Also, who knows, it might be funny. So, we have a rest stop. If you liked a chance meeting, place something on the table. I am kind of wishing that we had I'm kind of feeling the cost burn. I guess last floor we didn't get that much from it. Okay, let's try the indistinguishable space. Frick! Orange circles float in the air before your eyes. The lights flutter and dance in the air, creating a haze. Something is burning to death within. Would you be scorched as well if the flames touched you? Turn around. Resisting the temptation to reach out, you decide it's better to stay away from such dubious warmth. You feel a cold wave crawl up your spine in an instant, but it may be the right choice. Even children know not to play with fire. Nothing happened. I hate that there is an abnormality event out here that's just choose nothing or choose a severe penalty. Well, maybe not severe, but it burns you for doing. I see a room filled with papers. It was probably once spacious, but now it's cramped thanks to the stack of papers with scrolls occupying much of it. Something swims this way in the sea of papers and documents. The serpent made of papers slithers up to talk to me. This is hell. The hell for homework and assignments all the people in the world have neglected to do. People think an assignment that they didn't get to finish is no big deal. How little do they know. The assignments wanted to be completed and submitted on time. This is where the overdue and forgotten assignments end up. They're then plummeted into a hell where they suffer for eternity, forever left procrastinated. How cruel students are! You may have seen us as little tasks you could put off, but we wish nothing more than to be handed over. Let me ask you this. Whoever been behind with an assignment, it doesn't matter if it was by unavoidable circumstances. Tell me if you have abandoned any poor assignments. I think the obvious answer here is say that you haven't put off any. Good. Keep up the good work. Keep making sure no assignments are left behind. I feel a strong sense of trust. If I ever get assignments to take care of, I'd best submit them before the deadline. Received special contract. Enemies staggered by taking skill damage also receive fixed damage by 33% of their max HP. For abnormalities, the parts HP, and are inflicted with 2 fragile next turn, once per encounter. I have the numbers here somewhere. Where is it? Overdue assignments. If you say that you have, then you get in a combat encounter that gives you nothing. So obviously the obvious choice is to go after I haven't put off any. Okay, let's see what abnormalities are waiting for us this time. By all accounts that shouldn't have worked, but I think forced Gelt the envy resonance effect enough that she could match the power, but it shows that we're starting to... We're starting to be caught up in power by these guys. Oh, Ishmael. You could have done so much better than that. Okay, you start hitting on that one. This is a job for Mind Whip.
내가 눈에 새겨주지.
The problem with bringing in Ishmael is that while she does have one of the strongest skills in the game, beaten only by self-destructed Purge from N. Sinclair, Mind Whip is still very much a double-edged sword. If you use it incorrectly, then it will punish you for it.
당신의 물러 터졌군요.
162 damage. Yeah, I can trust that. But the other problem is that if you get Gloom Resonance, specifically 3 times Gloom Resonance, and then she doesn't get a hit off, then it causes her to take SP damage, and that's just inconvenient all around. Even worse is that her evade becomes Gloom Element. So if you choose to use an evade that turn, then, well, she's helped drain her own SP.
전투에 임하겠습니다.
자, 이번은 이쪽으로 모으고
소란이 줄었네요.
Oh, Bloody Gadget is nice. Apply 2 damage up to random ally. 1 additional for lust allies. Yeah, basics. And at least it did drop a gift this time. Sometimes they don't. Anyhow, trash mobs, I'll see you at the boss. I hate it when they do this big branch design where you have no control over where you have no way of knowing what's ahead. It's just one strong way one way or one strong the other. It's kind of frustrating because you have no... The fog of war feels more cheap than anything. But I guess in this case we did get the more productive route, even if one of them was the Helterfly. $450%. I was kind of thinking of skimming this, but I kind of want to show off what this will be like.
신속히 처리하죠. 맘.
Oh.
당신의 물러 터졌군요.
Okay, she's supposed to have a 95% chance there, but as any Fire Emblem player can tell you, it'll always come up when you're not ready for it.
약점 파괴. 신속히 처리하지. 맘.
자, 이번은 이쪽으로 모으고.
Okay, Wrath Blunt Floor 3. I kind of forget how this one goes. But we certainly have the Wrath Blunt, don't we?
기차와 같이 달려나가겠소.
It's just this guy again. Okay, now there's a problem. His accumulating curse attack actually rolls kind of high.
이상 승객을 정리합니다.
Donnie, why?
핫!
Yeah, let's mind whip.
전투에 임하겠습니다. 벌써 끝난다는 것.
And suddenly the dam bursts.
핫!
The thing that makes a W Core Ryoshu so busted is that she has built-in slash fragility on her attacks. Her skill 2. If she has enough charge, then the first coin inflicts a slash fragility, and that just means all her follow-up hits are going to sting a lot. The wooden door has stopped moving. What could be going on? Aw, man. Heathcliff came so slow in this round.
내 앞을 막을 자는 없어.
아하.
And you didn't even get to do your mechanics, poor guy. Yeah, it doesn't matter whether you resist slash. Ryoshu, you don't. So here's the things. We can give them +2. You see the little yellow box over here? This means that this is such a major penalty that they're going to be kind and give us an extra ego gift for picking it. So Overload gives +7 offense level but -7 defense level. Final power up 2 is +2 but defense level -4 and an increase of 15% HP. Or we can just give them +1 final power and 15% HP. So this is a good charge gift. This gives us starting charge so we can get to all our good stuff sooner. This is a bleed gift, so it's not that useful to us. Thunder Branch is good because we actually do have quite a few Rupture Potency skills, and it could use that. Between the two, I think they'd be roughly the same because this gives it +2 Clash Power, this gives +2 Clash Power. Let's go for the Lightning Rod. And hey, we get something nice to go along with it. Thorny Paw. Thorny Paw. We could make use of this. This basically means that whoever Ishmael hits is going to gain some sinking at the end of the turn. And that means that we can get Melted Spring to kick in. So that's actually a decent combination for this run, especially since we're going to have trouble with enemy attack power going up through the roof. Dispenser's hum fills the air. Oh hey, Thunder Branch! And Tomorrow's Fortune, very good for this run. Because we want to get as many choices when we get to the end of the floor. We give her another leap. Boost her clashing power. The downside is that it now means that unless she's using her evade skill, we're going to have a very hard time getting new lust resources. So it's a good thing we have this. Ugh. Floor 4. We're getting there. Less options here. Well, actually it's the same number of options, but we're moving away from the center, but... I want the odds of getting the... I want the chance of getting another ego gift, because we're going to need everything we can get when we get to the end. Oh, you have to be extremely careful. Because sometimes it will have her pick out her Mind Whip for no good reason. Only neutral. Yeah, that final power up +2 has definitely made our job a little bit trickier. On the upside, we have a lot of poise.
자, 진정하세요.
모든 결과들은 파우스트가 알아요.
이 안에 담아주지.
So here's a little interesting tidbit for you. We have Pekachulam for every type of sin type, except for Envy. These guys are obviously lust. You have sloth, wrath, pride. We've seen gluttony and gloom, but we've never seen envy ever in the game. So who knows when those guys are going to make an appearance.
깡총.
정신이 물러 터졌군요.
I should also point out that our core Ishmael over there, she was also kind of bad until you got her to up tie 4 because Mind Whip would drain all of her charge.
있는 맛이 있는데.
It would require 10 to avoid the penalty, and she had quite a bit of trouble reaching that point.
문 어디요?
The fact that it drains all charge means that you couldn't use 2 in 1 turn if she had the extra skill slot. It was an exceptionally dangerous identity. It's a good thing that they fixed her quite well with the up tie 4.
끼어들지 마. 한
She only has 1 of her base skill, and she has 4 of her skill too.
이상 승객을 정리합니다.
씹는 맛이 있는데.
Ryoshu gonna cut so many heads. So then, what's waiting for us here? Headless Portrait might make good fusion fodder, but also the singing potency at combat start. Okay, we have a risky encounter or a mystery encounter. I kinda wanna go risky. I might very well regret this, but we are a pretty decent slash team. We do not pay for my Hubri because even though they're level 59 compared to our level 40, there's still enemies from the very first run of the game, so their coin power is terrible. None of them got staggered though. If at less than 50% HP, heal 2 HP. There's no way that's the case. Wow. They just tanked it like a boss.
신속히 처리하죠.
Now think about how rough this would be if it was enemies that actually had a lot of attack power that forced us to use a bunch of ego to clash with them. But you're not going to stand up to a W core Ryoshu.
장문 어디요?
Charge nukes for the win. Man, you can't even stand up to her skill 1.
내가 눈에 새겨주지.
자, 진정하세요.
Oh, you know what it is? It's because I picked the defense power level up at the start. It cancelled out the overload effect, I think. Oh, blue Zippo lighter, please.
빨리 시작하시죠.
So hang on. Defense level plus 4. Defense level plus 4. Defense level plus 4. Defense level minus 4. But then you have 20% max HP. And they're also just quite high level. Although not as high level as that risky encounter. No. Okay, I can understand why you'd want to, but still no.
내 앞을 막을 자는 없어. 차.
Yep, these guys are quite bulky now. Not quite bulky enough to handle Hushu's high level power, but still, they can take a few hits.
아하.
모든 결과들은 파우스트가 알아요.
So, who still wants some? Sure, why not? Hit him with a soda.
내 앞을 막을 자는 없어. 핫차!
Upgrading W Ryoshu's skill 1 into skill 2 twice might have screwed over our last generation, but look at how she's able to absolutely evaporate these people with her best skill. Except it's not even her best skill, but it feels like it because she just rolls very high and inflicts a slash fragility on top of everything else.
전투에 임하겠습니다. 자, 다음은 어디요?
I'd call that victory. Okay. Okay, indistinguishable space. Ooh! Ooh! This is good. We remember Midwinter Nightmare, right? Delicate tree branch, a small fairy. Saying no words, the fairy waves at us. Looks like it was smiling, might have been dancing. Incidentally, if you take a momentary break, you get another chance to say no. If you take the break, then pick the negative response, then you do actually get healed. But if you continue to approach the fairy, then you get into a combat encounter. We've learned the real meaning of the fairy's gesture. There's such thing as free gifts. So then, a reminder. When hitting and dealing HP damage to an enemy with a skill, inflict 3 sinking potency. They don't have to be sinking skills, they just have to deal damage. Enemies with sinking lose 3 offense level and defense level for the turn. So now we are guaranteed to get to... This is basically we're basically hitting these enemies for a 3-level penalty just by hitting them. Sure, let's go for 2 for 2. Oh. Hi, Cyclops. Someone is... So yeah, large towering figure is trembling and shaking, laboured breathing. What the hell does it say here? What does the paper say? We cannot do this. Nobody we have is capable of meeting the 17 gloom luster check. And if we don't have it, then we have to beat a 34. Not even Mind Whip can do that. Utis could? Oh, actually Utis could. This is gonna be a coin flip if I take it. Wait, could she? Actually, I'm not sure, so I'm not going to risk it. Tell the figure that it's nothing. Gloom Sloth, but we only have to beat a 12. I knew it. They lied to me. Those pieces of shit lied to me. Gain 60 cost. Okay, I need to check this. She would have been able to do it, but she's at 0 sanity, so it would have been a 50-50 chance. I should have gone north, darn it. This is the problem with Mirror Dungeon Hard. You can't plan that far ahead. Oh, why is it the crabs again? You know what? I think we have enough resources we can spare a fluid sac. We definitely have enough resources to spare a blind obsession.
이상 승객을 정리합니다. 아하.
이 전투는 승리일 거예요.
It doesn't have the damage output that Don Quixote's version has, but the fact that it has such good HP and SP healing makes it extremely hard to justify the forced teleport over it.
총원, 조명이 전멸하는 저곳으로. 파도가 모든 것을 쳐부술 거다.
Unfortunately, they do heavily resist slash, so Ryoshu wasn't quite able to punch through. Ooh boy, that's a nasty AoE that Donnie can't actually beat, so... There we go, guaranteed win. Granted, he is going to hit her back with this counter skill, but she'll have 50% less resistance, and she already has 50% PS resistance, so it won't be the end of the world for her.
전투 임하겠습니다.
I still haven't been able to get my hands on Dylan Quixote's new ego. I don't know whether I would use it in this team or not, but the reason I haven't is because the new event is around the corner and I want to save up all my shards for that. And all my lunacy pools and all that nonsense. Although it's generally agreed that you should go for using the direct purchase method. Okay, Pierce Gloom. I think this is the Shock Centipede, dang it.
빨리 시작하시죠.
Oh no, it's Drifting Fox. That's actually worse. So he rolls stupidly high because he's level 55 compared with us, as opposed to the level 40 version that we've been picking fights with on a daily basis. But he's also not Lust weak. This is what his actual elemental resistances are like. The head is weak to slash, the body is weak to pierce, Gluttony and Gloom is strong. The entire thing is resistant to Blunt, Envy, and Wrath. Unfortunately, Envy is our favourite type in a charge team. The Umbrellas, on the other hand, are weak to Sloth and Pride. Hey, guess who can flatten all the Umbrellas in a single turn? Yeah. She can't pick a fight with that. Nope, you wouldn't be able to do that at all. Actually, Dimension Shredder would be quite fantastic for this fight because all the Umbrellas dying would actually give us a lot of Rupture. And we could stick some Rupture count on top of that. That said, we don't want to use it on this turn. So we're letting quite a few one-sided attacks through, but the thing is, I'm pretty sure that Blind Obsession here is going to stagger all of them. I certainly hope it is. What's the worst that could happen? And hey, it's a heads flip, so it's maximum damage.
모든 것을 쳐부술 거다.
Oh, she absolutely annihilated all those Umbrellas. Wait, what?
환상의 세계로
Did I misread it, or did she just deal 219 damage? Wait, no, oh,
가장 깊은 곳까지.
hang on, I need to look at numbers. I think someone must have hit it with a lot of gluttony or pierce attacks to absolutely tank the head's defenses. But okay, Dimension Shredder this turn. Because turn end, gain 8 times 5 Rupture. Reminder that he can inflict Dimensional Rift. Actually, maybe we should overclock this. Spend 10 charge to inflict 2 Fragile and Dimensional Rift. Then we inflict another Dimensional Rift on top of that. He doesn't have 10 charge. Can we fix that? No, we can't. Oh well, it was a nice thought. Where did you get 12 haste from? If ally has Gloom affinity skills, gain 4 haste from having 7 charge. Hang on. 19 haste, so... I'm absolutely baffled where you got all that haste from, but I guess I can't complain.
이라도 생각난 거야?
Look at those body attacks though. You're rolling extremely high. I don't like it. But because Ryoshu's finally gotten her coin power boost, she can actually match him on single skills. Donnie, not so much. It won't kill her.
눈에 새겨주지. 총원, 조명이 전멸하는 저곳으로 파도가 모든 것을 쳐부술 거다.
And that was a crit.
다음 세상으로 넘어가려면 자, 여기구나.
And now the fox uses this skill, Waiting. All enemies lose 20 SP. That's annoying because we've killed off all the umbrellas, so we've got no way to get that SP back. Mind you, we might just hit the boss hard enough that it'll wish that it had a better option to rely on. We're going to finish with Fluid Sac just in case.
이상 승객을 정리합니다.
씹는 맛이 있는데?
The boss really wanted to have a fancy finish, but it just couldn't quite pull it off. being staggered with Heathcliff moving so soon was not good for it. Now here's the big problem. You notice how we're not at the results screen, instead we've been given more ego gifts and mounting trials to face. So, resilient. We can make all of our enemies a lot harder to kill. We can increase their base power, their defense level, and their max HP. We could increase their final power and max HP. Or, and never take this one, coin power up. Enemy plus coin power plus 1, minus coin power minus 1, max HP plus 15%. Do not take this, this will make enemies roll unbeatable attacks. I think we're going to have to go for Sun Shower, even though we're recording way over time. There's nothing else that's so safe to take, so out of all the gifts here, I mean, we already have so much fun with our poise count, let's have more fun. That's right, that was a floor 4 boss. But now we have floor 5. Another dispenser. Ooh. Cigarette holder. Allies with plus 5 poise count gain 2 power up instead. So basically we're giving everyone 2 power up just for being around. Illusory hunt. I really shouldn't do this. But this is hilarious. We've actually removed Ryoshu's skill 1 from her board entirely. And wound cleared because we actually do have enough wrath skills and bleed skills that we could make use of it. There's nothing else we could afford though, and boy, Ashes for Ashes keeps showing up. Did no one tell them that this was a Did no one mention to them that this was a charge team, not the burn team? Anyway, risky encounter or focused encounter. I'm taking this just to show how bad an idea it is to pick risky encounter fights, but also because we get 2 options to move instead of 1. So, level 63 enemies. Honglu can't even clash with his best skill. $34. He won't die from it at least. I think we want to use his soda attack here. Yeah, it guarantees he'll win. The fox being our last turn really did not help us because everyone's got poor SP thanks to that waiting skill. Also, we are actually running really low on our Lust and Envy skills, even with the ego resource generators we got at the start.
자, 변신 완료. 만선이에요.
종원, 조명이 전멸하는 저곳으로. 파도가 모든 것을 쳐부술 거다.
이 전투는 승리할 거예요.
더 날 뛰어보라고.
맘 내 앞을 막을 자는 없어. 맘, 소름이 들었네요. 맘.
That's right, second wave. Everything on the 5th floor is going to be a 2-wave encounter, and it's really bad for us. $76 damage! We do not want to be hit by that. Now here's a problem. He's getting off attacks that we can't actually do anything to avoid. Because they start off with 5 people, each with 2 skill slots, but we burned through too quickly, so we don't have enough skill slots of our own.
깡총.
Like, it doesn't matter how high they are, they really aren't a match for Ryoshu's super attacks. The problem is that we have more than just Ryoshu here.
깡총.
맘. 벌써 끝나간군. 내가 눈에 새겨주지.
자, 이분은 이쪽으로 보자. 진정하세요.
벌써 끝나간군. 맘.
So yeah, that was one of the low rank enemies you could fight in a risky encounter. Heaven help you if you get into something actually nasty. Like, what if you come across Picod Town? Or mermaids? The cavern is full of smells, good and bad. Been a while since I had visitors, I ought to give you a right treat. Plumb out of luck for eatery, I've already had all the food. Straight as you can see, this glass of fairy wine is all I have. Would you care for a drink? As a thick, slimy hand makes its offer. Shake your head. You turn down the possibly cordial offer. Really now? No need to hold back. The green blob swallowed down the contents in one gulp, not bothering to ask you twice. Well, kind of a visitor eat them, leave empty-handed. Why don't you take this glass at the very least? Looking into it, you still find the green substance inside. There's no way to tell at all what it drank. Green spirit. After hitting a non-staggered enemy by using a gluttony affinity skill or inflicting tremor potency using skill effects, randomly inflict a total of 4 potency between all enemies or all abnormality parts. Let's go over the slash again. The future encounters are still going to have 2 waves. It's not just risky encounters. It's just that risky encounters are the ones where you're actually going to start having nightmares about how tricky the enemies are. That's a lot of damage.
내가 눈에 새겨주지. 다음은 어디요? 헛!
다음 세상으로 넘어가려면 자, 여기구나.
어수선한 맘.
I suppose the other thing that makes risky encounters kind of nightmarish is that
내가
they have one extra enemy, so they'll have one extra action economy.
맘. 맘.
Right, the Envy skill is getting more power because of the currently active Envy resonance.
벌써 끝나간다. 헛! 맘.
Okay, the Paralyze will last, so we've got that guaranteed clash.
전투에 임하겠습니다.
Yeah, I have to be extremely careful here because I do not get any more lust resources. I only get them from the ego gifts because Ryoshu is currently, well, lustless, I guess you could say. That's the one problem with deleting her skill 1 so much.
정리 작업.
I should also probably have someone throw out a heal attack. I just picked a risky encounter, didn't I? You'd think I'd have learned.
내 앞을 막을 자는 없어.
I want to try and wait out this first turn. Sort of stall it out.
지금이 기회인 것 같소.
That way I'll have as many skill points as I can get for the next part.
날 뛰어보라고.
I do seem to be stalling it out quite nicely.
내 앞을 막을 자는 없어.
자, 이번은 이쪽으로 모으고.
헛차! 맘,
Ryoshu doesn't believe in stalling.
맘.
Where did all my envy resources suddenly come from? You are getting an unfortunate hit off, but it's only 20 damage. Ryoshu can take it.
내가 눈에 새겨주지.
자, 변신 완료. 만선이에요. 다음 세상으로 넘어가려면 자, 여기구나.
당신은 물러 터졌군요.
Oh, you know what would be really dirty for me to use? Reminder that Ryoshu's blind obsession means that she's guaranteed to... Ryoshu's blind obsession means that crits no longer consume poise count.
끼어들지 마.
Yeah,
한참
right here.
좋을
On crit with pride, gain one poise count. So it's not a perfect does not consume, but it breaks even. But with how much poise the team already puts together, I kind of feel like we don't actually need that.
깡총.
다음은 어디요? 소름이 줄었네요. 살았어.
Okay, here's what we can do. Hang on. We have the... That's right, we have standard duty battery. So this gives us a -3 offense level. So that's 1 less clash power. Or we can just have the 1 power down for everything when they reach 33% or less. I'd say this is actually better. Okay, we're locked into this final route. Let's hope that there's not something nasty waiting at the end. A person stands in the square. You look this way, waving an arm. That person points the gun at you. We don't fear the gun. All that's left is the Ashen Coat. When hitting an enemy with 2 attacks in weight or gloom, heal by 20% of damage dealt. Also increase the damage of +2 attack weight attacks.
파우스트, 전투 시작합니다.
We cannot let this guy do that. We can't let you do that either. We have plenty of gloom. Lust, not so much, but we can pay that price, and I'd rather spend 3 NV than 6.
깡총.
The idea is that you go for as many risky and focused encounters on previous floors, so you don't have to take many on these floors.
이 전투는 승리할 거예요. 내 앞을 막을 자는 없어.
More crit, why not?
씹는 맛이 있는데?
Ooh, he's negating 80% of that damage. We're only doing 3 to 7. Ryoshu, you're going to have to use your DDDR there. You had better not hit those tails coins, or I'll be very annoyed. And in the end, I end up having to use Hex Nail anyway, go figure.
내 앞을 막을 자는 없어. 가슴 가장 깊은 곳까지 박히도록.
So the thing is, I feel like it's been proven that you actually get the full lunacy rewards if you just cash in at floor 4, so all of this is sort of a victory lap. But dang it, I just can't resist the challenge. You know that they're a brick wall when Ryoshu is not able to get through their HP bar in one go.
내 앞을 막을 자는 없어. 벌써 끝나.
Hongwu is kind of a weird support tank here. Well, double Q core anyway. He relies on charge barriers. So his base attack is just base. It gives him some charge, but it's nothing too special. His skill 2 cleanup support, gain 3 charge count, clash power +2 while shielded. It gains him more charge count on the first coin, and on the second coin, he gains charge barrier for all the charge count that he has. His third skill, at 10 plus charge count, consume all charge count to apply the consumed amount charge barrier to the 2 allies with the lowest HP percentage. Charge barrier is gain this amount of shield, lose 1 charge after losing that amount of shield. If the unit is W core employee, all charge barrier effects are ×5 instead of ×3. And at the end of the turn, for each charge barrier number you still have, gain charge from it. And then the shield expires. So he's good at handing out charge to other people who can make better use of it. Anyway, we have our last vendor. We know what it wants, it knows what we want. Oh, this is dirty. 1.5 potency from skill effects. Okay, I thought it was something else. Blood, sweat and tears though. There's no harm in picking up some extra damage against staggered enemies. Why haven't I sold you yet? Only 1 refresh. I legit just sold you. Why are you doing this to me? Okay, that's the last thing we're getting. We're leaving now. Because on floor 5, there's another rest stop. we can now enhance our equipment for one last time. Okay, we can't afford anything else, but that was a good last run of... Wait, can we? Oh wait, no, we can. That wouldn't be any use. Green spirit. Headless portrait, I guess. Okay, we have a blunt wrath enemy here. Floor 5 has its own pool of bosses, and I am extremely concerned about what this one means.
빨리 시작하시죠.
I knew it. Say hello to the original boss of the Refraction Railway. My form empties. At the start of the turn, if an ally is present, gain 10 protection. All units transfer 10 of their karma to their targets after a successful attack. 5 more karma is transferred per clash count. Karma is not transferred to my form empties as long as its allies are alive. At the start of the turn, if Murti is broken, apply 30 karma and 3 fragile to a random other ally, then enter a mode of enactment, non-self. During this state, the abnormality's behavior changes. All its attacks target units indiscriminately. When Murti recovers, its max HP increases by 20%. And he just has a lot of lust and wrath skills we won't enjoy being hit by. He also has these allies. At the start of turn, fully recover HP, fully recover HP, fully recover HP. It's annoying. It's certainly possible to one-round them. It's just not easy to do. So, Clash Lose, apply 20 karma to a random ally next turn, but otherwise on hit he inflicts 10 karma on us. Ishmael is just barely able to beat that on her own though. This, not so much. He's rolling a 14 to 24. Fortunately, this is the one free cost ego. This is the one ego that pays back its SP cost guaranteed, so we can hopefully rely on that. So then, let's go.
전부 찢어버리겠네. 가슴 가장 깊은 곳까지 박히도록.
환상의 세계로 들어가 보죠.
So like I said, it's difficult, but it is possible. On use, apply 2 attack power up to a random other ally. On hit, apply another 2 attack power up to a random ally. And then just get Karma. But we have almost burst the Muda Mutri. Because if you remember, we get a lot of sinking and a lot of rupture down, and that deals damage that bypasses protection. So we're actually pretty well set to fight this guy. We've certainly been better, but we could have been worse. You are weak to slash, which is unfortunate for you because a lot of this party is great at mauling people with slash weakness. I kinda don't want to use up my quick suppression this turn, but if I don't... Oh, actually, he could beat that on his own somehow. That's weird, but I'm not questioning it.
내가 눈에 새겨주지. 자, 이쪽입니다.
Now keep in mind, the previous version of Mirror Dungeon didn't give you the ability to choose the buffs your enemies got. So by this point, they would all just get stupidly high amounts of, they would get a bunch of stupidly high amounts of coin power, so their attacks would become extremely difficult even for the best skills to outroll. It was very frustrating. So you are resistant to slash. I don't like that. Woo! 13,000%! Where'd that come from? I know where that comes from. Fatal, fatal. And then he has 4 defense down, 3 fragile. Of course he's taking a buttload of damage.
깡총.
And for some reason the boss decided it really didn't like his face because all of its indiscriminate attacks went after him. Oh. I stand corrected. The statue looks as tranquil as ever. What could it be thinking? Yeah, the offense level down that we've got going on it, we actually got stupidly lucky getting our hands on the Envy Battery, the, where is it? The Melted Spring, the Midwinter Nightmare, and that revolver, which, yeah, Broken Revolver. All of those add up to be such a massive penalty to their attack power that what should be a lot harder just isn't. Clash win, halve the negative status effects on this unit and inflict 2 attack power down next turn. For some reason you're double weak to lust. That's confusing to me, but I'm not complaining. I want to use Fluid Sac because the skill check next turn is a little harsh.
이 전투는 승리할 거예요.
더 날뛰어보라고.
Whoa, where'd that damage come from? It feels as though you find peace in merely looking at it. The statue seems to embracing the agony and anguish of all. There is no self within, only everyone. It can only make sense that one would lose the will to fight. However, no man can wholly shoulder another's suffering in their stead. Before we are all lured by its false compassion, someone has to break the statue. Lust advantage. Who will be able to break this deceitful statue? It has a 15 threshold in Lust. That's actually extremely hard to beat, and if you've been spamming Ego to try and win the clashes, then chances are you won't have the 45% odds. Fortunately, the 19 threshold of Wrath is still possible to be beaten by Mind Whip. But everyone else will have a hard time. Ishmael shook their head. As they looked around, the sinner saw that everyone else was bowing to the statue. Some were uttering odd mantras as well. Ishmael realized that such tranquility was the result of brainwashing. There's no need to describe how the worshippers would have felt upon realizing this truth. A powerful attack shattered the statue and everyone returned to their senses. My form empties got staggered. Incidentally, karma. Let's go. Take 20% damage. So 20 stacks of karma means 20% more damage. If you have 108, then die. Back when this thing was just a massive meat wall, that was in fact how you would have to probably rely on karma to kill it, because no way karma to kill it and its companions.
깡참.
But the problem he has is that I have a lot of defense and offense level debuffs in charge, so I don't care.
훌륭한 전시회였어. 이걸 오히려 고맙다고 말해야 하나?
It's not a surprise that Ryoshu is highest damage. Nearly 15,000 highest damage. But yeah, hard mode can get kind of stressful towards the end there. At some point I'm going to start taking my other status teams into it as well for the stronger Starlight bonuses. I think Rupture and Sinking and Poise might be getting close enough to strong enough, but yeah. I at least have one group that I know can make it through. So, until next time guys, take care. I'll see you all around. Oh, incidentally, the Charge Fusion gift is kind of garbage. I don't touch it. The 2 component gifts are better for it anyway.
밤인가. 곧 열차가 들어오겠군. 이제야 재미가 생기겠어. 문이 열리면 그때마다 색다른 예술품들이 그곳에 자리하고 있지. 몇천 년 동안 쌓아 올려진 미학을 관찰할 수 있는 기회라니. 상상만 해도 즐겁지 않나?